Afrique Today presents Diaspora Business Network, Friday, March 22nd from 6 to 9 p.m. Silver Spring Civic Building. Theme, African Diaspora, Business and Media. If you're an entrepreneur or have a nonprofit organization, this is the place you need to be. Silver Spring Civic Building, One Veteran Plaza, Silver Spring, Maryland, on March 22nd at 6 p.m. Get your free ticket today at event.afriquetoday.com. Afrique Today, the best of digital TV.
Thank you. Let's pray. Heavenly Father, we really thank you so much for gathering us tonight. Lord, we can't do anything without calling your name because you're the only one who always brings the blessing on our way. As we're here tonight, Lord, we call on your name so that you can give us to spend great time, Lord. Bless everyone that has left occupation and be here tonight with us. And by the time we are together and share all these words and all those education and program and projects, we pray that you are here and give us the true wisdom that comes from you. Bless our families, bless our people everywhere in the world. And by the time we go back home, we pray that you can take everybody back home safely. Lord, watch over us, heal people, open up your word, let people know you and really experience the true blessing that comes from you. Bless our food tonight and give us to have a great time together. We pray in Jesus' name. Amen.
Thank you, Doctor. Thank you. How you doing today, guys? Great. That's good. That's good. So before we start, I want to just first introduce myself. I won't take up too much time. I know this is a business diaspora networking event. So my name is Isaac Burko, and I'll be your master ceremony for this evening tonight. And so, a little bit about my background. I'm a grad student out here at GW, getting my master's right now in administration. So I'm hoping to get my own business one day, and go back to Ghana and help out, my country, Ghana. And so, this is a networking event. So with that said, a little bit about myself, right? I want to know you, right? I want to know what kind of business you do, right? And so if I get a volunteer to go around, right, and for a little bit to 710, like tell me, your background, what you're doing, and what you hope to gain from this networking event. So, so I'm looking for volunteers who could help me out for to present themselves tonight. Any takers? Yes, Doctor. Thank you, Doctor.
Hi, everyone. I'm Dr. Natalie Kamsu. If you watch Afrique Today, I am the presenter of Transformation Point. I actually graduated from 2 universities. I went to University of Maryland School of Pharmacy, and I graduated with a doctorate in pharmacy. And a few years later, I was called by God because I've been a faithful Christian. So I went back to theological seminary school, and I came back with the doctorate of ministry. So I do both. I work in the pharmacy, and I work also in the ministry of Salvation of Christ. And I'm very excited to be part of, Afrique Today. We work a lot in the community. We organize health fair for people who know, and we also help people, know God, counseling, and everything that we can do in the community to help people. So I hope this tonight I can know also a little bit about yourself, and I hope we'll be spending good time together and work about to make our community a great one. Thank you. Have a nice evening.
Thank you. So I'm not going to take up everybody, but I know that at the end, we're all going to eat some good food, right, from Africa, from all around, and network. So, I'll take a couple people up, who's my next taker? This is my next taker. Yes, Miss Evelyn, you want to come up here and tell us? Let's give it up for her, guys. Come on, let's have her. Let's support each other out here. Come on, now. But we'll keep it brief, too. We'll keep it very brief. Yeah.
afternoon, everyone. My name is Marie Russell Curry. I'm President, Founder, CEO of the African Women Council Incorporated. My background as an African, I came to the US without speaking any English. I have to start like any other African from over. And then I'm the first African who went to technical school. I became an electrician, and also I do electronic assembly. Everything, you have it like assembling all cables, devices. I'm there. That's my career. That's what I do. Thank you.
Evelyn next.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Evelyn Opan. I'm originally from Kenya. I've been in the US, oh my gosh, 20 years. So it's been a long time. When I came in, I think all of us, I know from Kenya, majority of us were told to work in the nursing field, and I did that. And then I progressed, worked for a law firm for 10 years, got my MBA. And in that realm of things, I realized, okay, we came to America for much more. I felt I was stuck. So I went around and tried to find other things to do, other opportunities. And I found I'm part of a platform that helps us as Africans, create income replacement. And that's where I have been for the last 7 years. I'm a mom of 2. And I look forward to networking with all of you. Thank you.
Thank you. 80 more. I can take 2 more. 2 more. Yes, sir, brother.
Hi, good evening, everyone. I belong to a group of nurses association. It's called Cameroon Health Association. So it's just a small group of about 10 to 11 nurses, established nurses. So we just got together to, come up with something that, in terms of health, we are still, babies, and we are still calling. So hopefully we get inspired today. I have my colleague back there, so we get inspired. Whatever comes up, then it's fine. So I'm very happy to be here, and hopefully we're going to gain something. Thank you.
Thank you. Yes, sir. What was your name, brother? What was your name?
Derek.
Derek, okay.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Yakoba JC. Originally, I'm from Ghana.
Hey, Ghana.
And I have 3 hats. I'm a CEO of Coda Hill Incorporated United States. We build infrastructure stuff in Africa and here. Right now, we are developing saw factory in Ghana. You hear the president has launched 1 district, 1 factory. We are part of it. Secondly, I'm the national president of the American Africans United. Our goal is to unite all the African Americans and the African immigrants in diaspora here. That's why when I saw the diaspora, we decided to come and see how we can come together as one people. Because we, the African descent, you look at all the race. We are more segregated than there was segregation. And we created this platform, and we have a lot of African interested to bring us together in the United States. We believe that until we unite here, we can't take back Africa. I just returned 2 weeks from Ghana. It's like the white, the Chinese, everybody is a gold rush. We have to wake up, those who are here, and take back from them. Secondly, I'm the national Ghana director for an organization called the Diaspora. The first time of its kind, we have launched it in Ghana, dealing with introducing STEM into the public schools. Our goal is to go to all the ECOWAS countries, because we have a branch here, and we handle all the African youth. You can Google Diaspora United States. We have extended to go back to the motherland. We are building infrastructure for poor communities, dormitories and toilets, everything for school. So we came here to find how we can network and take back. Here is not how we are. Here, I say that we are what? we are just residing here. Whether you are African American, you are Caribbean African, you are immigrant African, back home is where we have to be. Take back, because many people are making millions from Syria. They don't even come manage their country, but go there. Indians, everything. They are there, but we are here, stuck here, thinking we are doing double, triple works. I'm a network engineer. I build a lot of nature server. I build a database for them, but I'm tired. I have to build it back home. That's what I'm
Okay, that was good. All right, so I hope that the rest of y'all didn't get up. I hope that, you know, at the end of this event, y'all network and meet each other and, you know, meet this brother right here from Ghana, you know what I'm saying, doing some good stuff. With that, I want to invite Mr. Ben Gaidu, who is the program director for Afrique, to come up and just give us a little introduction of Afrique. So please give it up for Ben, please.
Good evening, everybody.
Good evening.
How you doing?
Great.
I'm very happy to see you tonight. Like my brother said, we're gonna interact and see how we can do it together. And my name is Ben Jeju. I'm a Senegalese community organizer. I'm very involved in the African community, Senegalese community. The reason why I'm involved in my community is just because I do care a lot, and I like you all do. When I met Alain for the first time when we were talking about Afrique today, the first thing that comes in my mind is when we talk about Afrique, it's just a whole thing, all other things. It's just about a continent. And as an African, I was like, this is something really we need to do and work together. Make sure all the African know what is our goal, our mission, our vision about this platform. Then we started to launch some program. But when it comes to the program, TV, it's a matter of knowing how you can get people to interact and just, you know, see themselves on what you're doing. So in that, we just come to launch a program that named Audience. For most of the people that are watching Afrique today, I'm the president of Audience. Audience is a show that presents African activists or Pan-Africanists or journalists, people that are doing some things that can, you know, impact in the life of Africans. We have a lot of platforms that we're going to run on the screen after my speech, so you can have an idea about what we're doing. So what I'm going to do right now is just to tell you exactly what's the main topic, what's the main area where we try to improve ourselves and make it a better platform. Because when you look at it, like we talk about MSNBC or a lot of channels, as an African, we don't have the opportunity to go there to speak that subject that is some things that really is a matter of African people. So if we cannot get on those channels and have a contact to make us through those channels talk for ourselves, what we have to do, the only thing we have to do is just create our own platform where we can advocate for our issues, for our problems, the way we see it, the way we want it. Because most of the time when people portray Africa, it tends to be negative. I don't say they all portray Africa as a negative continent, but most of the time they don't bring the good stuff on the line. So as an African, we the one are in charge of the issues that happen in Africa. So we are the better people to say it well. So that's why through Afrique today, we go about communication, express ourselves. The way we present the channel, the way we present the media, and the way we want to talk about Africa today. Because what we don't want to is just people present Africa today the way they want. So after communication, we face the financial problem. The financial problem is just some things that we do with people like African people that are very involved, and they are successful in this in America. So we work with them. They can just sponsor Africa Today to make our program available and the production, because a lot of things is require money and finance. So then we talk about the production. The production is just something that we need, when we talk, make our budget based on what we need, like the light, the camera, and all this. It's not something easy, but what we focus on is the program, because all this is something that can bring people, make them connected to the platform. That's why today we launched this first edition of getting connected with people, the networking with business, with African people coming together as a whole and working to lift the continent. Because it's not easy when we work very divided. Most of the time we have the Senegalese community here, the Cameroonian community here, the Nigerian, the Ghanaian, Ethiopian. But I don't think that's the best idea to approach to just come together and try to solve our problem. Once we get together and see what we can address, how we can tackle the problem via the media, because the media is very strong, it's very powerful. It's very powerful. If you see every struggle, any struggle around the world, in the countries, when people are fighting, the first things they tend to capture is the media. Why? Because they know the media is powerful. Once you got the control of the media, you got the control of everything. Then you can pass your message. Then you can say what you want to say. You can advocate what you want to advocate. You can make people follow you and control everything. So media is very, very important. Very something's a very strong tool. So we are not speaking for myself. I don't study journalism, but once I get to do this, say I'm going to give myself the opportunity and the possibility to do it a better way. So what I do, I get back to take some classes, I get back to do research, and whenever I do my show, I get back to look at myself. What did I do better? What did I do wrong? And how I can help my brothers, entrepreneurs, professionals, students that come to our platform to have an interview, how we can lift them. It's not about me, it's not about Africa, it's about how we can have a platform that can lift all these African people. We are very smart, we are very strong, we are very intelligent. We have a lot of intellectual resources, but we have to know how to use that, how to put it on the line. The way we can put it on the line is through the media. So Africa Today is one of those media. There are a lot of media, online media out there, but for ourselves, I don't say we are the best, but you see how we invest on the platform, and our dream is to become one day one of the big channels, not in America, but around the world. And we can do it. When I talk about Africa Today, so I got some friends, one day he told me, what about Africa tomorrow? Yeah, we don't talk about tomorrow. Tomorrow is today. If you want to get ready for tomorrow, we better get ready ourselves for today. That's everything about today. Africa today is today, and then get ready for tomorrow. We don't talk about the past anymore. The past helps us to find out, to really know who we are, what mistake we did in the past. And we know in the past, we were like very divided, very, very divided. Until now, we work it out. It's coming together, but still we need a lot of work to do together. I'm very happy today to see this family. We are very diverse from different countries. People come together just to give us a push to make it happen. We can do that together. We only can do it together, and I'm very confident that we will do it together. And we call for every one of you, if you have anything, I know a lot of people are here, they are very talented. You can come, you can reach out, you can help us work this out. And as a team, we can do a lot. We can do a lot. It's just not about a platform or about what you do for yourself. It's a whole thing. You know, we have to care about our community. We have to care about our brothers, our sisters. That's the only way that we can lift Africa. We talk a lot about unity, but we don't act enough. So it's about to take action. You know, people will tell you every time, you know, TV is required a lot. Yes, it's required a lot because we have our life. We have our professional situation, our familial situation. But if you take 50% of your time and put it into your family, and you take 30%, put it on your community, you take 10%, put it on your own business, you have 5% left. Those 5% you can help out each other, you know. So that's why I'm not gonna keep it long, but as a director of the program of Afrique Today, I'm very open to see how we can improve our program. If you have ideas, you can reach out to us and give us advice. And we have a lot of programs ready, but the resources are not enough to put them all because, like I said earlier, time is a problem. But we do our best to make it bigger, and it's going to grow the way we go. I hope in 5 years you'll come back and talk about Africa in another way, where it's going to be a grown baby. So, in two, I'm going to just let Alana show you some of the programs that we've been running since we started, so you can have an idea about what we're doing. Alan, you have something.
Afrique Today presents Diaspora Business Network, Friday, March 22nd from 6 to 9 p.m. Silver Spring Civic Building. Theme, African Diaspora, Business and Media. If you're an entrepreneur or have a nonprofit organization, this is the place you need to be. Silver Spring Civic Building, 1 Veteran Plaza, Silver Spring, Maryland, on March 22nd at 6 p.m. Get your free ticket today at event.africtoday.com. Afrique Today, the best of digital TV.
Salut madame, salut monsieur, vous êtes sur Afrique Today et c'est votre émission préférée, l'invité du dimanche. Alors l'invité du dimanche, c'est une émission qui passe en direct tous les dimanches sur Afrique Today. Afrique Today, c'est une émission qui passe en direct depuis les États-Unis, plus précisément à Washington DC. Je m'appelle Alain Pierre. Alors nous faisons cette émission spéciale où nous fêtons la fête internationale de la femme. Alors nous avons décidé ici sur Afrique Today d'inviter une femme comme les autres, une artiste camerounaise. Elle est actuellement avec nous. Si la connexion nous permet, elle est actuellement avec nous en direct du côté de Douala au Cameroun. Elle s'appelle Alima. Alors Alima, si la connexion est bien bonne, salut.
Allô, bonjour les États-Unis, bonjour à tous les téléspectateurs. Bonjour, je suis Alima et je vous reçois très bien, merci.
Merci Alima. Alors c'est Afrique Today. Alors Alima, quelle est l'ambiance là-bas au niveau du Cameroun?
Hello and welcome to This Time Africa, right here in the studios of Afrique Today. As you know, This Time Africa brings to you African men, African women. We showcase African art, we show our culture, and of course we bring out emerging leaders. So this is This Time Africa, but what's on this time?
Salut et bienvenue dans cette émission de Transformation Point avec Salvation Transformation. Nous sommes encore dans notre série avec la prière. Seigneur, apprends-nous à te prier.
Welcome to Cyber Connect, a broadcast time for cybersecurity training awareness. Today, our response to some televiewers, and the concept today is Internet of Things. So, some televiewers wrote to appreciate what Cyber Connect has been doing. We appreciate that. Thank you very much.
Bonsoir, chers téléspectateurs. Bienvenue dans notre émission phare Audience. Audience, ce soir, a le plaisir de recevoir un jeune talent, un jeune leader, un jeune entrepreneur qui s'appelle Malik Badji. Malik, bonsoir.
Bonsoir.
Bienvenue sur notre plateau de Afrique Today.
Merci de m'avoir.
Thank you for watching. This is what we got for now. This is all our program right here. Thank you. And this is a family, and I want those hosts that we saw on the TV to stand up so we can give them a round of applause. They're doing a wonderful job. Doctor. Thank you so much. Afrique Today is about them. It's about them. They're doing a lot of good job. So thank you for your investment. thank you for your hard work and thank you for all you're doing. And thank you guys for coming tonight. Thank you so much.
Wow, that was great. Can we give it another hand of applause, please? Come on now. That was great. That was great. So our next guest speaker will be talking about the role of online African-based media, promoting free speech and public outreach. I'll read a little bit bio about him, okay? So his name is Guy Maroli Masamba. I hope I got it right. He holds a PhD in political science from Howard University. He taught political theory for 5 years at Howard here in DC. Before his teaching career, he worked as a World Bank consultant in the field of leadership development, training, advising African public administration officials. His areas of expertise are project strategic review, monitoring, evaluating, governance, and capacity building training, which he performed through the World Bank and a number of institutions such as the Developmental Institutional International Incorporated. Mr. Maroli Masamba has worked as an expert consultant in the field of democracy analysis for the University of Gothenburg, Sweden, and contributed to the identification of lessons learned from public administration reforms in Africa with the Government Institute of the African Union. Wow. He continues to work in these areas and others such as political strategy through the Model Perixes LLC, which is a consultant firm based out here in Washington, D.C. So ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Mr. Guy Maroli Masamba.
Thank you. With the presentation, I was thinking, who is that talking about? My name is Guy Maroli Masamba. I was born in Congo, Brazzaville. Small country, as you know. It is next to the big Congo called the Democratic Republic of Congo. But I was born in Brazzaville, and I came to the US for grad school in 1993. And I got my PhD in political science, international political economy from Howard University, as we heard. And the theme of democracy is very dear to Africans today, including myself. And that is what I'm going to focus on today, because every African today is longing for democracy. And before I was assigned to speak about this theme of today, which is written on this paper, I was already involved in doing research on digital democracy in Africa. And when I saw the theme of today, I said to myself, I'm going to try to put those two together. The role of this type of media, online media, in promoting democracy in Africa and free speech. When I think about it, I would like to ask you a question, basically, to all of you. If you have been able to observe the events of the last few days, let's say maybe 10 days, who can tell me one of the events that occurred this week or last week which be related to digital democracy in the world? Something happened just recently through which you can see the power of digital democracy. Tell me. What?
Thank you.
There's something very specific that just happened. Let me refresh your mind, your memory. In the world, around the world, from Europe to Africa to America, everywhere in the world, something happened. No.
Thank you.
Okay, this is what happened. Young people around the world walk out of classrooms to ask the leaders of the world to take care of the future of the environment. it started in Europe. It started in Europe, went to Africa. I saw some pictures from South Africa and also in the US. Young people today who are much younger than most of us here. They are not even the millennials. They are younger than the millennials. They took the responsibility to assume that the leaders should have their future in mind. How did they do that? They just spread the news through mobile technology. They spread the news asking the leaders to do something. They sent messages to each one of themselves. That is what digital democracy is about. And today, there's no place in the world which is outside this type of sphere of democracy through the digital media. And in Africa, even though this technology is just not beginning to develop slowly, there is already a presence of digital media in Africa. We have mobile technology in Africa through mobile phones, for example. The internet is present in Africa, and there are also media such as this one in Africa already promoting this type of conversation or dialogue with people around the world. So when we speak about freedom of speech, this type of media is facing a very serious problem in the context of Africa. Because even though there is progress in the continent in terms of promoting freedom of speech, since the democratic process starting in the 1990s, for example, many countries went through democracy in Africa with the fall of the Berlin Wall, for example, and the collapse of the Soviet Union, and the democratic transition all over the continent of Africa, starting in Europe, and Africa also took the vibe of this type of change. But even though there is a progress, there's some progress in that field of free speech and democracy, there is still some space in Africa which is lacking. There are countries that are going backward. For example, I would mention my own country of origin, Congo Brazzaville, or the Democratic Republic of Congo, or Cameroon. Sometimes, even though you can see speech is promoted, but there are also some impediment to the promotion of free speech in Cameroon, in Zimbabwe. So those type of things we see are causing Africa to go backward in terms of democracy promotion. So when I was thinking about the role of this type of media, I have a challenge to this type of organization. One of the things that this type of media has to do is to assume the responsibility to create a culture of dialogue. A culture of dialogue that will go through media, through mobile technologies. For example, instead of just talking to or promoting to people, talking to people who are in the civil society, they could also call leaders of the continent to come and speak in this type of media, to challenge them about their role in promoting democracy in Africa, about the role in promoting free speech in Africa. So this type of media has a key role to play in promoting the culture of dialogue through mobile technologies. That's one thing. And also another role I would see is to initiate events of democratic process or expression. So they can launch such events as those which happened just 10 days ago when young people who are younger than most of us here launch an event to promote the respectful environment in the world. So this type of media could launch such an event. For example, to ask, through the spreading of news, young people to gather somewhere in Africa support democracy in a certain continent, or to protest against violence committed by governments in Africa. So they can do this type of thing to initiate that type of event. Another role is to be a platform of discussion where they can have dialogues. For example, they can call civil society representatives and leaders of government to come and dialogue. We saw that, for example, here in the US where we are, we saw platforms of news calling leaders of Congress and civil society to come and dialogue to discuss about events that are taking place in the country. Also, another thing that I would like to propose for this type of media is to be able to gather data on free speech, to have this type of data and promote it toward the world, toward Africa. Because it is good to be able to convene meetings or to call people to come, but it's very important also to have your own ways of gathering data. If this type of media can gather such data as democratic processes in Africa, for example, they can be able to share it with some other outlets, and they can spread around Africa and promote this type of dialogue. And with this goes the possibility to conduct regular surveys, conduct surveys about how democracy is evolving, how free speech is being respected on the continent of Africa, and compare those data they gather with other countries or other continents in the world. So this is where I see the role of this type of media or outlet in promoting the free speech in the continent of Africa, and also trying to connect Africa with the world, because Africa needs what is going on in the world, and because we also have to contribute to the world. If we create this type of dialogue, we'll be able to connect Africa with the other continent of the world. So with this, and I would encourage the creator of this event or this type of media to continue to do the research that they need to do in order to promote this type of event in Africa, because this is where we are, but this event also could take place in the continent, and in certain city in Africa, they will be able to gather some momentum, because this is where we are, but we are also from somewhere called Africa, so that's where what we learn here have to be implemented. So with that, I leave you with the challenge of looking toward promoting free speech in Africa through the media of mobile technology. Thank you so much.
Thank you. One more, guys. One more. How we feeling today?
Great.
You sure?
Yeah.
It don't seem like it though. How you feeling today?
Great.
All right, now I'm glad. And so we're gonna get y'all eating. I know y'all hungry because I'm hungry too. Shoot, I'm gonna eat some food over there. So we're gonna get going with the program and start moving on. And so with that, I want to invite Mr. Malik Lazozo to come up and give us a little bit about how can an African media strengthen its economy, visibility, credibility, and the role of democratic in a daily operation. So please give it up to Mr. Malik Lazozo.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Well, my expectation was to speak about politics. I really saw on economics, but as you know, politics and economics used to be one thing, and then later on, people separated the two. But if you see, politics and economics usually go together. So, first of all, I want to thank Afrique Today. If some people can remember, one of the major events that Afrique Today covered was me running for delegate here in Maryland, District 20. So I was invited first in my capacity as the Diversity Leadership Council chair for the Democratic Party representing continental Africa. So, again, thank you so much, Afrique Today. Thank you so much for those who are dedicated for the cause of Africa. I see here a lot of leaders. I can see my good friends here, Mr. Eboa, Mrs. Eboa, Dr. Yvette Eboa, sitting over there doing great stuff in Africa, building businesses, building schools, making sure that our kids in Africa keep pace with the rest of the world. So that is already something that we have to follow. So please let's give a hand to it. So the question is, how can we African people or African immigrants here can help to develop Africa? We have to make sure that we connect with our brothers and sisters that are here for us, the African American community. We have to connect first with them. They're here, they know more about this country than we know. So we have to renew that friendship, that brotherhood, or sisterhood, if you will, and that we can start working together because we know more about Africa, they know more about the United States, so we can work together to make Africa the next frontier. So I've been signaled over there that I don't have enough time. I hope we can have more time to have this conversation, dialogue, and discussion with more experts. Originally, I'm a school administrator. I know more about education. I can share with people why it is important for education technology, where I'm expert in. How can we benefit, make Africa benefit from that? And everybody here, I know everybody is an expert in something. So we have to work together so we create a platform where events like this can occur and we can share that knowledge to those who need the most. So thank you so much for inviting me.
Thank you, sir. Thank you. I gotta say, this is great because I'm from Worcester, Massachusetts, right? And they call it the land of Ghana, okay? And we don't pull up like this, though. We don't pull up like this. We go around talking about other people and business and all that stuff. This room is filled with people who want to do good for Africa. And so, I want to say thank you because I want to go back to Worcester, the land of Ghana, and be like, listen, be woke because this place is woke, really woke. So thank you guys, thank you. That's a good clap, yeah, exactly, yeah. Come on now. We got a network, And so our next speaker, and I gotta say, I love everybody that's speaking tonight. Great background and everything like that. Her name is Dr. Valentina Akrubisant. Is an adjunct professor at the Catholic University of America and the Elliott School of International Affairs at the George Washington University, which are in D.C. Dr. Akrubisant is a law and society behavioral economics scholar. She's a global issues consultant and is also an editorial board member and a peer reviewer for the Journal of Environmental Economics. She has written numerous scholarly publications on global corporate governance, institutional performance, consumer engagement in water, and other international business entities. Dr. Akrubisant holds 4 degrees. Can I say it again? 4 degrees. That's good right there. Oh, Lord. She holds a Doctor of Science of Law from Stanford Law School and a Master's of International Relations from Tufts University and the Fletcher School of Law and Diplomacy, and a Master of Laws from the London School of Economics, and lastly, a Bachelor of Laws with honors from the University of Jones. She is licensed to practice in Connecticut and Nigeria, but most importantly, what she's not doing, she values family when she's not working. So please give it up to Dr. Valentina Akrubisant.
Thank you so much for that warm introduction. I'm actually humbled because to God be the glory, really. It's not by my power, it's the power of the Holy Spirit. So Yes, the subject of my what I'm going to do, I like to, my professorial skill always kicks in these forums, and I sort of want to give you an overview of what I'll be covering, just 4 points, because first the topic is how to strengthen African digital media's economic viability, credibility, and democratization tools in delivering services in Africa. And I have only 25 minutes, so I'll take the first 10 to 15 minutes, and please give me like a sign when I'm like 10 minutes, because I want to devote the remaining 10 minutes to Q&A back and forth, because I'm going to be raising some questions. So first I want to tell you the 4 points I'm going to be addressing within that framework of how to strengthen African media's economic viability, credibility, and democratization processes. I'll be looking first at statistics, just a brief statistics on the status in terms of demand for internet services, social media services in Africa. And then I'll be looking at the importance of developing economic viability within the framework of goals. Can you all hear me? Okay, good. Within the framework of established goals and mission and vision of a media company. And then thirdly, I'll be looking at the urgency for balancing the different influences, in other words, funding sources that media companies get, and balancing that against their goals and missions and strategies. And within that, I'll be looking at mainstream media in the US. And then lastly, the fourth is I'll be looking at implications for African media companies, especially what I call the SMEs, the small medium enterprises, the small medium media enterprises, so to speak. And I'll be linking that to my conclusion, okay? So those 4, hold me accountable if I don't cover them. But I'll be doing that really quickly, because I tend to do like laundry lists. So if you have more information or more questions, you can come to me. But I want to make a disclaimer. I'm an attorney, but I'm not giving advice to anybody who has an SME media company. Secondly, I teach at Catholic University. I teach business law and corporations and other courses, but I'm not here representing their views. So it's my personal individual view based on my institutional memory and my personal experiences over time. So first on statistics, and let me also say that I've looked, and most of the statistics I'm going to be giving you and the information have been vetted and verified from different sources, okay, from Council of Foreign Relations and also from Quartz Africa and from different media sources, okay. So first on statistics, as of 2019, 213 million people of Africa's 1.2 billion use internet services, right? That might seem like a small figure, but that's quite a lot. That's like 18%. From my calculations, that's 18% increase, right, from previous years. So that's pretty good. And 191 million Africans use social media. So of that, in other words, of the 213 million people, right, that use internet, 191 million of them use it for social media. WhatsApp. Who doesn't? You all use WhatsApp. Oh yeah, we all use WhatsApp. Yeah, so you have WhatsApp, Facebook, all that. So that's quite good. Okay, the reason, of course, for the increase is internet usage. And then since 2017, and these are figures from Council of Foreign Relations, from Quartz Africa, and from really reliable sources, okay? So you also have a 20% increase, more than 73 million more people that use internet. So now we have 213 million as of 2019, but as of 2017, it increased by 20%. That's a fast rate of increase. That's awesome, right, for everybody, okay? And so now Mali increased in terms of usage by 6 times. 6 times, that's a lot. That's the country of Mali, right? and then Benin, Sierra Leone, Niger, and Mozambique more than doubled in terms of usage. Of course, Nigeria, South Africa, and Kenya are the ones that, start the wave, especially South Africa. They started earlier. So in terms of, the law of internet usage, that has been confirmed. Most of the people in Africa, more than half of people in those countries, Nigeria, South Africa, and Kenya, say that they actually can do without internet. It's very necessary. They see it as more of an opportunity than a risk. Okay? So given that background, how does that relate to the SMEs, the Small Medium Enterprise Africa Digital Media? This creates opportunity, even within the framework of the challenges of the political challenges that some African, I'm not going to call African countries in terms of, can I have my, the bottled water, please, that I had? I think it's up there. I'm not going to call names because I don't want this to be a political, but some of the countries have faced challenges in terms of shutdown of media services, suppression of freedom of expression within that rubric, or increasing taxes on Facebook and WhatsApp as a disincentive, thank you so much, for users. So that's happening. So I would call that a political challenge. And then there are infrastructural challenges too, for those, for the small medium enterprise African digital media to go in, because there's also the infrastructural in terms of not having reliable electricity and energy, okay? So moving beyond that, the next issue now, the importance of economic viability. I can't even begin to underline how important that is for survival of an SME, a small, medium African media enterprise that's trying to grow. It's very, very critical. Now, before going into that, I think the thing they really need to view, you have to ask the question, if I'm a media enterprise, a small, medium enterprise, what is the first thing that I need to do when I want to ensure long-term economic sustainability? The first thing you need to do, of course, is what? Establish what? Your goals, vision, and mission, and make sure it's within the framework of whatever funding you're seeking out there. Why do I say that? I say that because when we now look at examples of mainstream media within the US, let's take, for instance, I'm sure you all know, MSNBC, CNN, and Fox. Those are the three primary ones that we can say are successful, right? In terms of funding and all that. When you look at, the goals, because when you say what is funding, why do they need to get funding, and what are the sources? The sources are normally corporate funding in terms of investments and ownership. 2, within that framework, corporate sponsorships, and then you also have private individual funding, and then you also have wealthy people who just decide to set up their own media conglomerate or whatever, and then you also have government funding. So when we talk about the three main ones, where do you think they get their funding from? MSNBC, CNN, and Fox. Corporate, yes, there you go. Let me break it down. The MSNBC, we all, we love MS. What's that MS? Who can guess what MS is? Microsoft. People don't even know that. The founders of MSNBC were Microsoft, and the NBC is NBC subsidiary of General Electric. Yes, it's liberal, but it's also corporate. Okay? Now, CNN is Ted Turner, who founded it. Very wealthy man, who then sold it. And of course, MSNBC was founded in 1996, but see how very wealthy they are. They have multi-billion, They're all wealthy, so that's not even the issue here. It's the influences I'm creeping into as I'm addressing this. CNN is Ted Turner, who founded it, right? Then sold it to, and he's wealthy, right? You all know, who doesn't know Ted? Yeah. Sold it to Time Warner. So Time Warner owns CNN. That's the mega shareholder and investor and whatever owner. Fox, which everybody, well, some, not everybody, depending on what side of the aisle you're in, right? Fox, everybody knows, you know him, right? You know Rupert Murdoch, who is an Australian but naturalized US citizen and a Republican. So now you know the picture. So when you hear Bernie, sometimes he was talking with Rachel Maddow of MSNBC and talking about the influences of corporate. Why does CNN like Hillary? How about me? Why the same corporate people that are giving money to Hillary are also part of CNN, blah, blah, blah. And Rachel is like, at the end of the interview, I hope I still keep my job. Remember that? If you Google it, you're going to see that. So now, given the exigencies of the challenges of funding media, now let's now bring it back to what the implications are. And looking first, as I said earlier, at the goal, establishing your goal up front and sticking with it. What should be the goal of media? The goal of media, as I think most objective people would want, and I think most consumers would want, is to provide, and that's the topic of what the topic that we designed for this session, to provide credible and accurate information to the public and to promote accountability. In other words, an accountable and transparent system of what? Economic development, business development, political development, trade, whatever it is, but it has to be in an accountable, transparent way, delivering accurate information. If you're pursuing goal of an unbiased media, forget about it. I think it's very unrealistic because given the exigencies, even if one proposes, I mentioned that there were 3 ways in which funding, the media gets their funding: corporate, public, meaning everybody, and government. If you go corporate, the corporate influences, so the question becomes, how does the media strike balance between those influences and their goal? Because you know what, we all know the saying, you can't buy the hand that feeds you. So striking that balance and getting involved in your role in democratizing, because it's broadly speaking not just a political process but the economic process, delivering accurate is so critical, because in and of itself, expecting an unbiased media, bias is about favor. Media favors, but what we should seek and what media should deliver is accurate information. Okay, and make sure that that information you're delivering, when you talk bias, maybe don't biased by the people providing the money, not compromised. So how should the media do that? Seek funding, but at the same time, even if it's private funding, C-SPAN is privately funded. You know C-SPAN, anybody know? Maryland Public, I live in Maryland, MPT, PBS too. But guess what? Call in the morning on that C-SPAN, you will see people. Human beings also want to influence. Everybody who gives money wants power over that person they're giving money. I have heard them say, oh yeah, I'm going to shut you down. They have called C-SPAN to say, you're too liberal. And then the conservatives call in and say, how are you allowing only the Democrats to talk or to call in? You know, they have a call-in period in the mornings. Both sides, they're like, we're not going to give you any more money. So everybody who gives money to this so-called media, so the key, based on that, lastly, because I want to leave time for Q&A, is what are the implications of all this for an African media business, that's especially small medium that has small economies of scale, trying to expand into large economies of scale. There are many opportunities based on the statistics I gave earlier, because Africa has 2-point-something billion, and we've only begun to sort of scrape at the tip of the iceberg. We haven't even gotten there yet. So there's a potential, there are opportunities for small, medium enterprises to capitalize. But the key is to focus on the established goals and mission, while at this, I see somebody saying, oh, how are they going to do that? While seeking sponsors, make sure that when they're seeking sponsors, they're zeroing in on vetting the sponsors, be it corporate and private, and making sure that those sponsors support their zeal to make sure they deliver in accordance with the established goals that I had mentioned earlier of what the goals should be. Okay, find your niche. If you're an African media enterprise, find your niche. And when I say niche, in terms of subject matter, where are the gaps globally right now? Where are the Africans seeking, insatiable demand for information? Where is it? Look at what just happened with the Boeing accident that occurred. AP, oh, you heard about that. What did they deliver? Are you blaming the Associated Press, which is made up of mostly mainstream and others, but mostly the Western nations? Is it really their fault that they zeroed in on those that died in Canada and the US and they left out Kenya and Ethiopia? Where are their sponsors? And where are most of their, their viewers and consumers from so-called countries where they mentioned, even though Kenya and Ethiopia had suffered more loss? So to what extent are you willing to support an African business enterprise that, of course, media, I call them business enterprise because the media is a business, really, even if it's a small one. So this calls upon Africans, if they want to get the African perspective, or even if it's Tucker Carlson, who made a reference to the Democratic Republican of Congo woman who climbed on 4th of July. Did you all see her? She climbed the Statue of Liberty. Did you see Tucker Carlson make a reference to her that she needs to go back, even if she's resident, go back to DRC where they're cannibalistic? There was no refuting of that. There needs to be a perspective, not that they're racist or anything, it's the perspective that's limited. But I think, as I said earlier, there are opportunities right now because of the hunger that Africans have and the high demand for using internet-based services in terms of media. And of course, the infrastructure is improving, so with time, that would happen. And also, in other words, capitalizing on increased cell phone and internet usage is very critical for the media, for the small, medium enterprise media services. I'm looking at Alan there because he's one of them. So I'm looking at you because that's what you're going to be capitalizing on. But first, developing that criteria for targeting financiers, corporate and private enterprises, so you make sure you target those that share your vision and goal and will allow you to have a laissez-faire approach as you deliver those services, okay? And I think I'm also very optimistic about what I mentioned earlier in terms of political resistance or challenges in some countries, because within that framework, the civil society has actually challenged in the courts some of the measures that have been taken by government to suppress ability of the citizens to use social media and those outlets. So I think 5 more minutes. So within, thank you. Oh. I love it. Yes. Great. So questions or comments? I see a lot of people shaking their heads. So I think you might have, some comments. I think in conclusion, I think I'm very optimistic about the future of African media, digital media, and the role they can play in filling those gaps that exist and in democratization processes in Africa. Of course, I may not be as optimistic in terms of funding, but I think that the opportunities arise for Africans to wake up. And I think it's not only emerging with Africans, there are cosmopolitans out there that are interested. Those who are pro-Africa can also jump in and support this process. Okay. So any questions? I see you have a question. You're moving your mouth. You said.
Me?
Yeah.
You. Yeah, you.
What's the question?
No, I just appreciate your. Your speech was very nice.
Thank you.
Yeah. Also, well, especially I'm not in that area, so I don't have a lot of questions, but it was very instructive for me to learn how, the influence of media nowadays in the society. So I don't have exactly a question, but you did good.
Thank you.
No problem.
Well, we have 2 questions here.
My name is John. Is a question. have the opportunity Africa to open a lot of outlets regarding the news, but most of the time, particularly in my country, there is some news.
What's your country?
Cameroon. Okay. When the news open it, they really want to maintain the keep up on.
Thank you so much, everyone, to be here today. Like you understand, my name is Alain Pierre Ombanglil. I'm the CEO and founder of Afrique Today. And I'm happy to be here. Today is almost the launching event for Afrique Today. For those who doesn't know, Afrique Today is an online TV channel. We only will be online. Why? Because the digital world is the future. Today, we stream live every Sunday. We live every Sunday. Already 1 year, every Sunday we live at 3 p.m. And you can watch us, how to watch us, because some people do not understand how to watch us. Then you can watch us live on 4 platforms at the same time. Facebook, YouTube, Twitter. Also, you can just go ahead and download Afrique Today app. It's very simple. And wherever you are, you can watch Afrique Today. Today we have 3,000 people who download Afrique Today app. We have 100,000 people subscribe on Facebook. We are live every Sunday, each Sunday at 3 p.m. If you want, just download the app and you can watch us this Sunday, 3 p.m. Exactly the same thing. Right now, why we do that? Because right now we just try to African people to understand what is the digital world. Because some people think the TV is only the cable. We want to show people the digital media, the digital world is the future. And we already demonstrate that. When we live, Facebook subscriber, we have at the same time 1,000 views. And we can track that. Why we can track that? Because I'm engineer and computer, and I'm specialized on digital marketing. And I know what I'm talking about. Then when we create Afrique Today, this is why the goal. The goal was to have African people to subscribe, download the app, and talk about then all language. Afrique Today, my director, my program director just talked today, he showed you we speak 2 languages, French and English. Like I say, we can go live all the week. No, right now we try to build to have a very good show. Before I continue, I want to introduce you the people who make Afrique Today very good. I want to call them here in the scene because they help to make this channel run every Sunday. I will invite here first Jean Bosco Fongan, the man who runs cyber security, the cyber security program is here today. I will also invite here Sia Matilda Banga, the host of This Time Africa. I also like to invite, because you know it's Sunday and sometimes we like to pray and we have a special show for that. I would like to invite here Dr. Domo, who has a very show at 5 p.m. every Sunday. Of course, I would like to invite here Mr. Ben, who you already see here, the program director, the host of Audience, and very powerful also is here, Ben. This is all people who make Afrique Today powerful. Listen, some people say they have a digital TV.
No, you can watch us only on Facebook. This is not digital TV, because to watch you on Facebook, you have to have an account on Facebook. And someone can send you the link for Facebook. If you do not have an account, you will never watch that thing. Is why we decide, because we want to be the real TV, we decide to capitalize the digital world. Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, and we have an app. This is a powerful thing we have. And before I let you guys go back, I want to give each one some, like one minute, please. You can say someone, Martita, please, very quickly.
Hello, everyone. Hello, Face of Afrique today. You are the faces of Afrique today. Our goal is to make sure that you have a voice on each of these channels. Our goal is to give you a platform, and eventually, the world will hear about Afrique today. Please feel free to come on This Time Africa. That's where things happen. I love you all, and I hope to see you on the show. We do have a sheet in the back if you want to complete it, either English or French. Please, we're talking. Thank you.
Good evening, everybody. It's a real pleasure to be here tonight, and I'm so excited. First of all, Alain Pierre is a very dedicated person. I've been working with Alain Pierre, and he tried to bring people, trying to advertise, even for free. That is something I noticed with Alain Pierre. And I promised to Alain Pierre, I say, I will do my best every time. When you need me, I will be there. Because we need to push this Africa. Not only Africa, but everybody learning like cybersecurity. We have a program. The show is every Sunday, 5:30, and we try our best to bring information, to train people on the best of our ability. And we will keep doing that. We will keep supporting Afrique today. I want to tell Doctor who presents something about Africa on the digital. It's really important. It was so instructive. I love it. And also our friend who talked about Africa, Doctor, we are trying to bring this country, this continent, as far as possible. And I will not be too long. Thank you very much.
Hi everyone, as you know me, I'm the presenter of Transformation Point. Without God, you cannot go anywhere, I can assure you that. So we start with Him and we end with Him. So my show is Transformation Point, and I talk about the Word of God. But we have a lot of projects. I am the founder of Salvation Love of Christ, so we work a lot in the community with the health fair. Dr. Nurchua is here tonight, so we need people to work with us in the community. Usually when you talk about God, people will think about just the church, and when you come out of the church, that's it. But we try to say no. We try to bring the right dimension of God. God is everywhere. In this media, we start with God, we end with God. So watch Transformation Point, pray with us. Come and help the community when we organize healthcare. If you're a nurse, if you're anybody that can help, we need you. So thank you for being here tonight and support Afrique today. We will do a lot for Africa. God has given us wisdom, and we will put that together to be successful. Thank you.
Thank you, everyone. I won't be very long. I just want to thank you so much. Thank you. And Afrique today is not about us, it's about you. Thank you.
Okay, and I would like also to say, thank you to the people who support Today Afrique Today. This event also cannot happen without our sponsor. The sponsor is Salvation Love of Christ. Watch Grow Democracy. Berlin Natural, Camsystec LLC, DMV Control Tower, and African Women Council. And we will try to do this kind of event every year because we try to people to understand the digital world. And the good thing is I'm understand that world because I'm doing a lot of digital marketing. Okay, Afrique today is not only the TV. Maybe everybody who come today use a special ticket called Smart Ticket. We'll create Smart Ticket for African community because we realize every time when African people organize an event, they say, call me where, call me there, call me over there. And sometimes you cannot reach nobody. Is why we decide we create Smart Ticket. And most people who come here does have that digital ticket. We decide to demonstrate the ways work. We have a list of people who get registered today. We also have a badge of people who come today. It's a good thing. Smart Ticket is like Eventbrite. If some people who know is Eventbrite, I think almost everybody. The difference between Eventbrite and Smart Ticket is Smart Ticket is cheaper. With Eventbrite, you waste more money because they charge you $1 for each ticket you sell. On Smart Ticket, you just pay $15 and you sell unlimited ticket. Another thing we improve on Smart Ticket, we give an opportunity to use your own brand. We integrate today, we launch today a new feature who help people to embed the code to their website. That means nobody will know you use Smart Ticket. This is a very good innovation. We have a flyer over there if someone wants to know about that, because I can demonstrate that. I think we need to do a special event for that just to demonstrate the ways work. No, because I want to give an opportunity to people to enjoy the food, to enjoy the networking, is why we don't have time to show about Smart Ticket. No, it's very powerful tools. It helps you. You see today we scan every ticket. Everyone who register, we have a special computer. You come, you register. If you don't have a ticket, you can register. And you have the data right away inside your computer. You don't need a paper. You don't need nothing. Green, 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 green. Yeah. We encourage, we want to say to all the organizations who are here to support that kind of solution and use Smart Ticket. Also, we want to give everyone today an opportunity to come and have an interview on Afrique Today. We have a special paper over there. If you speak French, you speak English, just put your name and your phone number. We will reach you and we will have an interview with you for free. So you have an opportunity to do that today. Then also, before I give my last word, I have a special guest today also. I would like to invite him today. He's a musician. Javier, please come here, please.
Well, thank you so much. It's a pleasure to be here, see all of these faces. We can really do great, right? I'm excited to see all these great minds, these people, you know. What I can say is that if we come together, we can definitely make some progress. I'm an artist, model, brand ambassador, I do a lot of things, you know, but I wrote a song that talks about the American dream. We all came here because we had a dream. We come from different backgrounds. I can see, I can hear the accent here, but we are one. And that's the force, that's the power that we have. And if we can tap into that unity, if we can build. And I said, coming together is the beginning, right? Coming together, this is just the beginning. But staying together is the progress. Working together is to succeed. So if we can do that, we can definitely, you know, get somewhere. So I just released my album in 2018, August 2018, and I learned, supported me so much. I'm here because of what he's doing. He's doing a great job. And, you know, we need to support each other. I'm not going to be long. We need to support each other. We cannot do it one person, not a one-man show. We're coming together because there's power in unity. So I have for people that want to support, some people want to know about my music. I sing in Spanish, French, and English. I'm a Christian contemporary artist. So I have a message. Everything that you hear is family, you know. So thank you so much.
Hello and welcome to Afrique today. I am your host, Paulson Nicole Nelson, here live from the New Zen and our beautiful nation's capital, right off Pennsylvania Avenue, close to the White House.
Right. So I'm also here as, like I said, as a brand ambassador. As you can see, when we go out for event, you know, if you, like I said, want to support one another, and this is the Connoisseur Paris brand. If people know about him, it's good, but if people don't know about him, you can really, if you have an occasion, a wedding, if you have anything that you do and you want to just get there and look good, and all this is Connoisseur Paris, as you can see. You have custom fit, nice suit, nice stuff, very appealing stuff. So in all this is the community work. We can support, you know, each other. So I just wanted to mention that there too. Thank you.
Okay, before we go just a little bit in, I want to just a little bit demonstrate you. You give me like 30 seconds. What make a smart ticket different to Eventbrite? Because people do not understand. When people go to smart ticket, because you know we need a little bit to educate African people. Because some people, maybe they don't have digital experience, and sometimes they don't know where to click. The first mistake people doing when they have smart ticket, this is smart ticket, okay? The first mistake people doing when they try to get a ticket on smart ticket, they click here, create an event. Create an event is for those people who want to create an event. That means like this one, I will host an event. If I want to create an event, this is where I need to click. Now, if I want to get a ticket, I go down or I search. We have a search button here. Then we have a lot of events here. You can just see more. You can see more. And we have the event today, Diaspora Business Network. If you know, you can just search. If you click there, the event is already end. You cannot get the ticket anymore because the event already started. Now, if I want to get in for example, another event, for example, the Men Health exhibition will be on Friday. I just click there, click get smart ticket, and I can get my ticket by using, take one and click checkout. And it will ask you to get your ticket and pay using different method of payment we have.
We have a contract with PayPal. We have an agreement with PayPal. Your payment is secure, and you receive the payment directly to your account. This is what Eventbrite doesn't do. When you work with Eventbrite, you receive your money 5 days after your event is ended. With Smart Ticket, you receive your money the same time, the same minute. Some people get the ticket. Okay, this is what people need to do. And when you create, and if you want to know more, you can contact us. We have a training where we train people to do that. Now, what I want to show you is how Smart Tickets work. We have Diaspora business event here. You can see exactly the dashboard, how many people when someone purchased the ticket. You can see, because we register people here, you can see how many tickets you have today. You have all that here. You don't need to go anywhere. Another thing is, you have an opportunity to check a ticket. You can check manually, or you can check how you want to check. When you check that, Smart Ticket tell you which one is coming or which one is not coming. Right here, you can see the green one is the people who show up. Another one is the people who did not show up. Another thing we have here is we give an opportunity to the organizer, or the event organizer, to wherever the event is in, he can still register people. Like today, when you come here, you was able to register. This is what we call, this is the dashboard where you can add just your name, your email. It's not all. After that, the only thing you need to do to download the CSV file. If I download that, and I open that right now, and I will have the list of all of you here on my Excel file. You don't need a book, you don't need nothing, everything is electronic. Why we don't use that? Then the member we create today is an embed feature that gives a full powerful tools to event organizers. Some people say, I don't want to see Smart Ticket on my website. I don't want to see Smart Ticket logo to my website. I don't want people know I'm using Smart Ticket. How to do that? We invent embed code. This is a new feature of Smart Ticket. We invent embed code. That means when you have an event, you click here, you can add your logo, you can add your banner, you can do whatever you want to do. It gives you a code, and I did an experience. I put that on Afrique Today website. It gives you a code where you see here, you don't see Smart Ticket here. If I move, I can move these, and people can still come to your website and get the ticket directly to your website. No logo, you don't see Smart. No people know about it. This is 2 tools we created to African people to be able also to have their own tool, their own database, their own TV, where they can come speak about their country, their language. This is what is Afrique Today. And each year, we will work, because we will have an interview with different business people. We will give any business here an opportunity to hold an event like this also here. This is what we will do next year. We will begin to build an application beginning next week, give an opportunity to everyone to submit an application to participate on this kind of business networking event. And we will invite also people to come to connect here and to speak, because you never know. Also, we help people for the digital marketing. We work with Camsys who do the cyber security. This is very important, the cyber security. We work with that company to help to secure the website. If you don't have a website secure, someone can hack or something can happen. The data you can lose the data, all of that. Also, next year, we will have an event where it will be also a business event where we will show business people how they can use Google My Business, a powerful tools who help your business to run very quickly. And this is what we use every day. And we will show that to the people to use Google My Business. This will be next year. No, you have to register again. You have to use Smart Ticket. All our events, they will use only Smart Ticket. Every people who are here, they use Smart Ticket. It's a good thing, right?
Yes.
Okay. Before I finish, I want to introduce two new guests I have here, just to say a couple words. And we had a very good interview with her. I want to introduce here Dr. Law, please, a couple words.
Thank you, Alain. Good evening, everyone.
Good evening.
Alain is a very, very hard worker, just like my tonton over there said before. I met him because someone told me to contact him so he can help promote my business. So as soon as I called him, he reacted as if he knew me forever. And he was like, I'm on it. I was the one telling him again that, wait, I don't even have time yet, you know. So that's how devoted he is when he say he want to do something. So it's a blessing to be to work with him. I want to invite all of us to support him. It's very difficult because bringing the change is never easy. Change is never easy. He's part of one of our organization. We have a non-profit organization called the Power of Grace Foundation, and we have a conference coming in June. That's going to be June 13 to June 15, and that's one of the innovation he's bringing in, which is the Smart Ticket. And we had a meeting the last time. It was, like everybody's like, we don't know how we're gonna do this, because it's not about us only. We understand it, but like you said, we need to help people to embrace the change. It's never easy, it's a process, and together we can make it happen. Thank you so much.
Okay, before I close this event, I give all the opportunity to, I'll have two more guests. I need just to say a couple of things. I want to invite here Dr. Salif Bishop is here today. Please, a couple of words.
Thank you, Alain. Good evening, everybody. I don't know where to start, but the reality is Alain is just one person, but behind him, he has a whole continent. It's even hard for me to remember how I met Alain, but it went very, very quickly. Once I needed to bring to our community attention the work that we do in the United States and the work that we also do in Africa. Afrique today, everything we inspire to bring to the light the projects, successful projects that we have in America and in Africa. And for that, I put my name behind Afrique Today. Thank you.
Okay, another event we support is someone who does, this is the last person I want to introduce today. We support a lot of non-profit organizations. And I want to introduce to you a very powerful one for non-profit organization. His name, Angelo. Angelo, please. He does have an event soon, and he using Smart Ticket.
Surprise, surprise. Thank you, Alain. Listen, everything has been said already. I'm the founder of the Young African Diaspora Initiative. So it's an initiative that really educates all the young Africans, people of African descent, about how to impact our community socially and economically. So we deal with the AU, we deal with all types of organizations to make it happen. It is not an easy task, but we've been around for 2 years. It's going to be 2 years in 3 days. And we are in 5 states so far. And I think the co-founder might be here, that we need your support. And Alain has done a very great job. When I met with him, I've been introducing him to a lot of people because I want this to be a great success. Because if each one of us succeed, is a great success for our continent. Our continent has long suffered, and we need to make a change. And this is one thing that I will leave with you here today, is that we need to start thinking about wealth and legacy. So, because we have lost track of how to create wealth, how to maintain it, how to pass it on to future generations. And what we can pick from America, we are the most strategic country in the world where we think 100 years plus ahead. So let us leverage with that. We came to this country to get something positive. So what I always say, I'm a public speaker, I call it ICC. Let us work individually to educate ourselves individually, and then work collectively. And that's not enough. We have to go make this constructively. I call it ICC, individually, collectively, and constructively. Thank you very much.
Because this is a networking event, I just received a text message. If I don't give the word to that person, it will be a bad day for me. I would like to introduce you, Jeanne Monique, please. I think she would like to talk about her organization.
Good evening, everyone.
Good evening.
This is my friend Lucy. We came all the way from Baltimore. I'm happy to be here, and I'm the founder of UPS. There's a multicultural organization. We are all over the world. So we are just here to support Alain. I have been working with Alain for 1 year now. So as a volunteer, so it's not easy, but every business we have to grow it by supporting each other. Yes. And I'm so happy to see all of you here. I'm impressed. I'm sorry. My name is Lucy Muriuki. I'm her partner here in America. Thank you.
Yes, we have a lot of powerful people here, and I would like to show the last person before I conclude. Please give me. It's a network event. Please, Dr. Miami, please come here, please. Say something, please.
This was not playing like that, man.
Say something. We African, doctor.
Oh, wow, I'm sorry. I didn't text.
Okay.
I didn't text. I'm surprised even to be here to talk. But anyways, you've given me the mic and I'm going to be brief. I'm glad to be here and see many of us. And that's actually, I'm very enthusiastic to see that. Because Africans, usually we don't come together to work together. And today, I think it's a beginning of something. That we can start something we can accomplish. Thank you. That's all I want.
Okay, that's it. Okay, I want to conclude today to invite to this place the people who support me a lot is my family. I would like to invite my wife. She don't like to speak. Come here, please.
And you too.
And I have my son, he has a birthday today. My two sons, we have Daniel here. All the family here to support me. I want to say something. I just registered Afrique Today to Maryland because Afrique Today was registered only in Virginia. And the council asked us to be registered to Maryland to have some good stuff, good benefit from Maryland. And we, right now, already registered in Maryland. The good thing about my wife, every time she asks me where to go, I say Silver Spring. It's become the theme all the time because she knows I'm working very hard. Thank you very much. Thank you very much for your support. I want to thank everyone I know the weather wasn't good, no, you found a very good time. Let's work together. We have a list over there for the people who want the interview. Just write your name, your phone number, and the language you speak. We will call you and you will get an interview for free. For this time Africa, for all the show we have, we will give you a call. Thank you so much. Enjoy the food, please. Thank you.
All right, thank you guys. Give me a round of applause here. And I know it's his son's birthday, so can we sing happy birthday? Can you come up here and sing happy birthday real quick before everybody eats? Because I feel like we should celebrate him as well too. Ready? So you ready? Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday. Happy birthday to you. So we're gonna do the food by section. So I want this one to go first, and then we'll do ongoing, and then from now on, so we'll do section by section. So the first one will go first. Yeah, so it's not a line. So, all right, guys, thank you again. All right, God bless you guys.